What's up? It's Martin here. And focusing during online classes is honestly harder than I anticipated. That's why today I'm going to share with you guys some useful tips or actionable advice that can help you guys succeed in any online classes that you take in the future. Hopefully not for the coming September. But on the off chance that happens, this video will be especially for you guys. And if it doesn't, then hopefully this video will be helpful for you guys who are planning to take online summer courses like me in the future. So with that out of the way, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so more students like you guys can benefit from the information in this video. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that you should do when you're taking online classes is to schedule important dates on a calendar. This is because there are so many different dates for assignments, quizzes, tests, or whatnot that you can't really track it unless you put it into one neat place. If you have 5 different test dates and other assignments that are due within the same time period as each other, it's really important to be able to see that on a calendar. So go to each course outline and extract all the important dates and put it into one place, one calendar that you can see all of it in. Because it's really annoying to scroll through 5 different course outlines to find dates. So summarizing it all into one calendar will really help you guys out. Like for me, yesterday I thought I was behind in biochem, but then I started looking at the dates in which we're supposed to finish certain topics by, and it turns out I was ahead without even knowing it, because I thought that we were supposed to cover one topic each day, but there were actually only 23 topics and the course runs for 6 weeks. So I was ahead without even knowing it, and I caused myself unnecessary stress. So keep your calendars organized and keep it all in one place. That'll definitely help you out. So moving on to the second point, which is that you should schedule a time that you're on school and a time that you're off school. And what I mean by this is, for example, you wake up in the morning and then you say from 8 a.m. to around 2 p.m. or something like that is when you're going to work on school subjects. And the rest of the day you're off from school. So this is to mimic the class structure that you would have during actual schooling, which keeps your day more organized and well balanced. If you don't schedule your time accordingly to when you're on and off from school, then you're going to have an issue with school taking up the time that you're supposed to have during the evenings to relax or pursue your other hobbies like working out, reading, or anything like that. This is a product of Parkinson's law, which states that work expands to fill the time allotted to it, which means that if you give yourself the entire day to finish a lecture, then it might be the case that it takes the entire day to do that one lecture and you didn't really accomplish anything else during the day besides getting distracted by Instagram or watching YouTube videos, which kind of happened to me a little bit, which is why I suggest that you guys schedule an on and off time for when you're in and out of school. Like realistically, each lecture is around like 1 hour long, but for the first couple days, I spent a good like 5-6 hours completing both lectures, which isn't really effective because I gave myself too much time to complete that task when less time was actually needed. So I started throwing random things like YouTube videos in there to fill up the space, and I was not very productive during those times. So I believe this is one of the most important tips in this video. So moving on to the third point, which is to not confine yourself in your home, your room, or wherever you might be. Get outside and take a walk to refresh yourself. Because from my experience, sitting down the entire day makes you really tired and your focus starts to dwindle if you sit for too long. So get up, take a walk, go on a jog or something to get your blood flowing and your focus sharpened in the process. I'm sure most of you guys know the benefits of exercise already, so I'm not going to go in depth to explain that. And moving on to the fourth point, which is to get a sight blocker. And this is especially important because with online classes, you're obviously working, well, online. So chances are you're going to be using your laptop or your personal device to do something like that. And I'm sure a lot of us have the habit to open a new tab and enter Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or any other distracting websites just with the click of a button, because it's a personal computer. And I believe that we do this without thinking because at this point it's a habit. So that's why I suggest you guys get a sight blocker, which can be a plugin in Google Chrome or something like that. So you don't even give yourself the chance to go off and procrastinate a little. Because going off to procrastinate a little can lead to you procrastinating a lot. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. And the fifth point to be able to focus and do well in online classes is to just start. And by this, I mean, if your work seems very daunting, like you have to read a couple chapters of a textbook, then just say to yourself that you're going to read for 5 minutes. And maybe just starting will give you enough momentum to carry through and finish that task that you had set for yourself. Because honestly, the hardest part of studying is just getting started. And I'm sure a lot of us know that. It's kind of like a reaction with a high activation energy. All you need is a little bit of willpower to push yourself up there, and the momentum will just carry itself through your task. And hopefully that mentality of just being able to start the task will help you see the task at hand as a little less daunting in the future. So I feel like adjusting that mindset to just 5 minutes instead of, oh, I have to read like 2 chapters, it's going to take like an hour. I feel like that mindset shift will really help you guys. And the sixth thing I suggest that you guys implement in order to do well in your online courses is to simply think before you act. And what I mean by this is before you open that tab and type in YouTube into the search bar, think to yourself, how important is watching that YouTube video for my success in this course? And through this, I've believed that getting yourself into the pattern of thinking to yourself before you act subconsciously will really help to break that bad habit of ours, which is to open a new tab and just to wander off to do something easier instead of taking on the task at hand. And the seventh and final point of this video is to practice interleaving. And what I mean by this is going from subject to subject between studying. Instead of making huge study blocks for like one subject for like 5 hours and another subject for like 5 hours as well. For example, for me, I'm taking cell biology and biochemistry. So how this works for me is that if I'm studying biochemistry for like 45 minutes or an hour and I start to feel a little tired from reading the same type of information, I'll switch over to the other subject. And this strategy has been proven to be very effective in boosting your learning. And I feel like I could have did much better this year if I implemented it, especially for something like calculus or physics, which I get really tired of reading really quickly. So in that case, I kind of gave up on it because I just felt like it was too boring and tiring to read. And I feel like if I implemented this strategy, I could have done much better in those courses. So if you're tired from reading one subject too much, then you can always switch over to another one, and that'll be a little bit more refreshing and will keep your study ball rolling for a longer period of time. So with that, that concludes my 7 tips of how you can stay focused and do better in your online courses in the future. That's about it for this video. I hope that the information I shared will help you guys out. So as always, smash that like button and hit subscribe with post notifications on so you can see more content like this. And yeah, I'll share with you guys an update of how I do in these 2 courses and if these techniques worked well for me and if I would change any of them. And yeah, tell me if you want to see any specific type of content from me, and I'll try my best to do that during this busy-ish time for me. So yeah, that's it. See ya.